Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Test Tuesday here on Sparkling Autos, and this week we have Autobrite Direct Magifoam. And despite this being one of the most popular, certainly well known snow foams on the market, this is actually the first time I've ever used it. In fact, it's the first time I've used any Autobrite Direct product, so I'm looking forward to this one. And the first thing that struck me straight away was the claim on the instructions that said you can allow it to dwell for up to 30 minutes. I've never seen any snow foam that can dwell for 30 minutes, so I'm interested to see if it lives up to that claim. And if you're new to the channel, or if this is the first Quick Test Tuesday video of mine that you've watched, well, first of all, you're more than welcome. Secondly, I'll just give a brief explanation of what we actually do in this series. Basically, it's just taking a quick look at a product, using it by the instructions that are on the bottle, and seeing if it's any good. Is it something I'm going to use it again, or is it going straight in the bin? There's no comparison with other products, no scientific jargon or chemistry lessons required. It's literally just a normal person picking a product up off the shelf and having a go and seeing if it's any good. So without further ado, let's crack on with it. And as you can see on the side here, there's a good bit of road muck, but it's certainly not a disaster detail by any standards. So I want to test the cleaning power first. I've left it to dwell for 8 minutes, not the full 30 that's on the bottle. We will come back to that later in the video. But I thought 8 minutes was perfect for the first part of the test, because generally with modern snow foams, they say 5 to 10 minutes dwell time. So whilst initially it looked like it was doing a good job, when you take a closer look, it actually hasn't really done much more than I think water pressure alone would have done. And I don't think I could put that down to a weak dilution, because the instruction said to use 1 to 2 inches for a full lance, and I used 1 inch or possibly even just slightly over 1 inch for half a lance. And I also think that 8 minutes is long enough that if a product is going to have any impact on the dirt in the car, it should do it within that 5 to 10 minute window. Now maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I've come to expect from this type of pre-wash product. But maybe I'm coming at this with the wrong approach. At the end of the day, snow foams were initially developed to allow the products underneath them, i.e. citrus wash, traffic film removers, that was to allow those to dwell for a bit longer, and that's the era that this snow foam comes from. So what I'm going to do, if you remember last week I wasn't overly impressed with the Auto Finesse citrus power, and quite a few people commented saying that if you allow the product to dwell for a lot longer it actually has more of an impact. So given that this is supposed to dwell for 30 minutes, I thought, well, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll try the Auto Finesse citrus power, give it a couple of minutes to dwell, and then blanket it with this Magifoam, and just see, 1, does it dwell for 30 minutes as it claims to do, and 2, does that dwell time allow the product underneath to clean for a lot longer? Well, of course, once again, there's only one way to find out. Now, there was one thing about the foam that did surprise me, and that was the consistency of it. Given its long dwell time, or claimed dwell time, I was expecting this real dry, marshmallowy type foam. But to be honest, when I applied it through the ANTI-KINK foam lance, I found the consistency to be much wetter than I expected. Now, I'm not going to compare this to products like the Garage Therapy Snow Foam or Built Hammer's Auto Foam. Mainly because, like I said at the start, this series isn't about comparing products. And also because, whoa, what's going on here? Oh yes, that's right, I'm taking a photo for Instagram and forgetting the fact that there's a camera behind me. And what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so it's also important not to compare the products, because really it's like comparing apples and oranges. As you're going to see over the next couple of minutes, they're very, very different types of products. Now, I appreciate I have waffled quite a lot in this video, but I think the points I'm making are pretty important and I like to get them across. So as you can see then, if you take a look at the dwell clock in the bottom left corner, we're already up to 6.5, 7 minutes. At this stage with most snow foams, you're thinking about removing them from the car if you haven't already done so. But what I found with this one was, as you can see looking at the car, it gives you the confidence to go and get all the jobs done, get your buckets ready, and then I thought, well, the buckets are ready, maybe I'll give the wheels a clean, see how far I can get round before I need to clean the product off. So I'm going to stop talking now, we'll speed the footage up a bit more, and just see how close to the 30-minute dwell time this product can actually get. Lo and behold then, we're now up to 30 minutes, 31 minutes, basically 32 minutes, and the product is still dwelling. Looking at this, I think I could have left it at least another 5 minutes and it still would have been absolutely fine. And no matter what your views are on this type of product, it has to be said that that is impressive. And speaking of impressive, let's find out if I'm going to be any more impressed with the Auto Finesse citrus power, having allowed it to dwell for over 30 minutes. And I have to say, credit where it's due, when it's been allowed to dwell for this length of time, it certainly has done a better job than it did in last week's test. Has it persuaded me to buy it? No, I still don't think the cleaning power is up there with some of the other products I have on the shelves, but by the same token, I think it's done a decent enough job to avoid going in the bin. But that's enough about Auto Finesse and citrus power. Let's get back to the Magifoam. So the next thing to test then, particularly with a snow foam that dwells as long as this one, is what's it like to remove from the car. Because generally speaking, snow foams that dwell for more than 10 minutes tend to be very thick, and the more you agitate them with the pressure washer, the more they actually foam up, so you're kind of always fighting a losing battle trying to get rid of them. In some cases you actually end up going around the car 2 or 3 times before you get all the foam off. And I'll be perfectly honest, that's exactly what I was expecting with this one. But as you can see, that's not the case at all. I've gone around the car once and all the foam's off, and even looking at the driveway, yes, there's foam residue on the ground, but it's not like the stave puff marshmallow man has just exploded all over the place. It's manageable, you'll be able to rinse that away with the garden hose. And as I just rub this bit of dirt here that isn't even budging with my finger, it's definitely going to take a contact wash, so I don't think any pre-wash product was going to have an impact on that. But I can honestly say, after using Magifoam, that has made me possibly change my approach to things. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to ditch the types of products I do use, but what I'm saying is there are different types of products out there for different situations. The dwell time on this is absolutely phenomenal, so if you have a really good pre-wash product underneath there, possibly not necessarily the one I did use, but as you can see, it did do a decent enough job. But with a good strong pre-wash under there, and being allowed to dwell for 25-30 minutes every time, allowing you enough time to do the wheels, I can see how that could work, and I can see how that approach can suit a lot of situations. There's going to be times where you want to do a quick wash or a contactless wash, and this might not be the first choice or the first thing you're going to reach for. But for those Sunday afternoons where you've got 3 or 4 hours to clean the car, you're in no rush, no time constraints, those are the sort of situations where this is exactly the type of product you might want to use. So I guess that only leaves one question. Now, as always, I'll be perfectly honest. At the start of the video, when it was basing it on the cleaning power, I really was not convinced. I wasn't impressed with this product one bit. But when I play to its strengths and you take that incredible dwell time into account, there's a lot of situations where this product can really come into its own. And for that reason, it's earned a place on the shelf, it's a tick for Autobrite Direct, and now I'm really looking forward to trying these other samples I have from the brand. And that's all I really have to say about that, so if you're new here and you like this format of video, please do subscribe to the channel and press the thumbs up. Other than that, thanks very much everybody for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care.